Welcome to the Westside Personalized Podcast, where real educators share their classroom-tested, learner-approved personalization practices. I'm your host, Andrew Easton. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion and are able to find a few valuable takeaways from the podcast. And so without further ado, let's go to the pod! Good whenever. Here with Mr. Christie. He's going to give us a little tour of his room, show us all the cool stuff he's done with his spaces. So, what do we got going on?
So I made a blown up version of the displays that I then printed and made littler and then put them around the room. So first I'm just showing you the blown up version, which is displayed on my wall. The reason why that's there is so that I can show students from a distance or reference the verbs that I have for each specific space as the expectation. So just so that I can reinforce the expectation with words they can see from a distance.
Yeah.
So, and then I'll take you to where I have those smaller on specific desks. So the first one would be where you'd work by yourself. So I printed it out and taped it to the desk. And so if you're at this place, the expectation is that you're by yourself, you're in a quiet space, you're focusing, producing, and you're managing your distractions. And so that's a good thing that you're here. You can put yourself here, or I could put you here. But so it's actually reminding you every time you go there, wherever you are, what the expectation is that you're learning. Around the room, I also do have numbers, and so with the numbers, they're a place that you can work as a pair. And underneath each number, I printed out again the display in a smaller way, and it has quote bubbles here because you're talking, and then you can work by yourself or in pairs. And then I also don't have it written, but I have a time limit with students where they should be here between 3 and 5 minutes, and then they should be able to be done, unless they're working on an assignment in pairs, then they can stay. And that's been really easy to separate students that way, with assigned numbers throughout the room. So each number throughout the room has that, and then I have 2 group spaces, and the group spaces that you have will be according to whatever space you have in your room. But so I have no other place better to put this, but the rectangle carpet's right here so that students can sit on the rectangle carpet and work in a small group. And then also they could come to this circle table, and I'm sure that all of you have some type of circle table. And then they could go here and work in a small group. So if they're there, then they're discussing topic, reviewing, working together, collaborating, getting input from others. Most of the students would be at most of the time at their desk group. If they're at their desk group, I did not find it necessary to cut out a small square and let you know what the expectation is there, just kind of respecting the individual person's desk. But I do reference the expectation of the desk group often, and so they know that if they're at their desk group, they're working by themselves. Unless I've specifically asked them to work in groups, which obviously I many times I could. You don't need to have your desks in pods like this. I just found that I can still maintain expectation of working by yourself while they're in pods like this, but there's so much freedom to play review games across or pass papers or whatever it is to work in groups of 4. So the desk group is the expectation when you're at your desk. And so, those are the expectations: wall desk, floor seating, and then when you're in your group. Anyway.
Great. I'm going to sneak around the room here real quick and show we've got some spaces here in front of the desk that utilize that open space in front there, spot by the wall. Just being very intentional about even the placement of items like the bookcase, right?
Yeah, so I have that bookcase in my classroom, and I need to be able to see behind it at all times, and so since my reading desk is here, I can still see behind it when I'm there running small groups. So
great. Well, thanks for letting us have an opportunity to check out your classroom today. Really appreciate it, and keep up good work with all your flexible space and seating. Well, that's a wrap on another great episode. For more information or to contact us directly, you can email our team at personalized.learning@westside66.net. As always, thanks for tuning in and learning from the Westside Personalized Podcast.